Well, guys, I haven't found my crystal ball yet. I'm gonna probably go shopping for it this week, but I don't know how Nostradamus would have dressed for something like this. But anyway, this is End the Simpademic, and I am back as Simpadamus again. And we're gonna pick this up from where we left. If you're that simp from last night's episode, I'm gonna pick it up from where you woke up this morning, okay? And here, Simpadamus knows that you woke up this morning drop dead exhausted. You probably didn't even wake up until after 12 noon. And you had picked the drunk girl up at the bar, and you didn't get home until about 3 o'clock this morning. And you were patting yourself on the back as you crawled into bed at 3 a.m. and were like, now maybe she'll notice me. Maybe she will, appreciate me. And now maybe she'll like me. Maybe we can go on a date together for real. Well, as I said last night, that's not going to happen because you don't value yourself. And if you don't value yourself, no woman is going to value you. And so you're hoping to get a text back this morning or afternoon, as it turns out. And it never happened. And so now you've shifted your focus, and it's Sunday evening, and you, as the perpetual simp, have turned your focus towards tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday, and the work week begins again. And there are a couple of very attractive women who you have been going after, for lack of better terminology, and you have lavished endless attention on them. If you're off, your office likely has instant messaging just like mine does. And Simpademic predicts that you're going to be on that app nonstop tomorrow with these ladies. And you're going to be validating them about how beautiful they are, about how lovely they are, about how attractive they are, about how hot they are, etc., etc. And you're going to do this several times tomorrow. And, as a simp, you're going to get another instant message tomorrow afternoon, and it's going to be from somebody in HR. And they're going to be calling you into a meeting. And Simpademic knows that it's not going to be a pretty meeting, because you're going to get confronted by HR tomorrow with the allegations of harassment from these women. And unlike previous episodes of this channel, these are going to be legitimate complaints. Women a lot of times will make false accusations, but in your case, Mr. Simp, they're going to be very real. And because you have been in their instant messaging app all day long, talking about how attractive they are, about how beautiful they are, and it's going to just be too much for them. You're lavishing attention that they've never asked for, whereas, a lot of women who have men in their friend zones, they lavish that type of attention, but these ones don't. These ones are there to work, and these ones are distracted by you, and they feel creeped out by you legitimately. And you come out of this meeting tomorrow with HR on a formal warning. And so you're going to have to stop this type of behavior after tomorrow. But if you're desperate and you're a simp, you don't know what else to do. You're going to come home from work tomorrow and you're going to be like, how do I get their attention without crossing an HR? And the truth of the matter is, Mr. Simp, is that that's actually not possible. Because then you're going to come home tomorrow and you're going to realize that you're just going to have to cut off communication with them, or else it's going to be your job. And you're going to make the obvious decision on that one, which is stop approaching them, stop talking to them, and stop, talking to them in DMs. Now, switching my hat from from Simpademic back to Jason here, real quick. I've mentioned before, I don't have those types of conversations with any woman at work at all. There is one I'm intrigued by, but I've never said it. And because she actually knows from natural conversations that, I'm not in a position to handle younger children at this point. As I've mentioned, as Jason, I have handled a very life-threatening traumatic brain injury about 4 years ago, and it has taken a lot of my energy away, and I physically cannot handle that at this point. It's not even anything against single mothers. It's just something that, I physically cannot handle at this point. And so the real life me, and I've mentioned before, you don't want to fish where you work. You don't want to do your fishing where your income comes from, because the reward is not worth the risk specifically in that situation. So going back to Simpademic says that this is the correct decision. You're going to have to make it, but you're not going to like it. You have to basically take these women who you've been simping over in the office and disappearing entirely, which is going to be a smart decision on your behalf, because Simpademic knows that HR is not to be screwed with. You don't want to be homeless because you groveled and simped and begged for women. In the real life, Jason has actually seen this happen. Not involving myself, not, with myself involved doing any of the simping or doing any of that, but it's one of my coworkers, a younger one. My attraction to her is 0, and she's on the younger side, so it's not going to match in that regard either. But she's kind of a social butterfly, and so, we have conversations about little things all the time. But, I've actually kind of taken on the role of a father figure at age 53 on how to handle the fact that she's getting creeped on and simped on by a married man. This is something that is just so wrong on so many levels. And I'm just like, you got to keep an eye on this one. You got to keep an eye on this one, because she's going to be probably able to level sexual harassment allegations. And like Mr. Simp that I'm talking to, she'll have a legitimate case, because this is a married man, an older married man, probably older than myself. She said it herself, probably older than myself at age 53, hitting on a 25-year-old. Pretty creepy and disgusting. We're kind of in Belichick territory at this point. And except with the man who's not nearly as accomplished as Bill Belichick, this is just an old man creep who is desperate in his own right, like Mr. Simp. You just don't want to do that. And going back to Simpademic, you're going to make this decision. It's going to actually be the right one. Just don't do it anymore. So you're going to go home tomorrow night, and you're going to be thinking about, because you're a desperate man as a simp, you're going to be thinking about who you're going to try for next. Which physically attractive women in your life are you going to be trying to simp on and grovel on and beg for attention and show no value of yourself, that you don't value yourself, that you put this woman on a pedestal. And Simpademic knows that that's a very bad thing to do. Don't put women on pedestals. Please don't. But you're going to be looking for the next woman to put on a pedestal, because you're going to be so desperate, and you just feel like you needed to get somebody who's physically hot or whatnot, and you're going to do everything you can. You're going to pull out every trick in your bag to try to make that happen, but it's not going to work, because if you don't value yourself, and if you put somebody on a pedestal and you value them so much higher than yourself, that woman's not going to respect you, whoever it is. So I'm going to come back tomorrow night on End the Simpademic, and Simpademic is going to identify who the next target of yours is going to be, and the unsavory result that's going to come from it. So come back tomorrow. Simpademic will be back with the result and what the simp's next step is going to be. What your next step is going to be as a simp who puts women on pedestals and shows and has no respect for yourself. So anyhow, that is all for today. Enjoy your Sunday night. Weekend comes to an end tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be Monday. Don't be the simp. Simpadamus will be watching. And he knows how this all pans out. So anyhow, that is it. Peace out, homies.